I put together this Grappling with Overwhelm journaling workbook for you if you're feeling overwhelmed and you'd rather do self-coaching. It seems a little bit more approachable than a full one-on-one session with me. But I think this concept of journaling is so powerful. I've seen it in my own world on repeat since I was 7. It has helped me understand myself, understand what I'm really feeling and what I'm really dealing with. So that is why I'm creating this series of journaling workbooks. And overwhelm, though, I think is one of those things that is really tricky to see for yourself, but it's even trickier to understand that it's overwhelm because it could be so many possible things. I'm just going to show you a little behind the scenes. This is my black and white version of Grappling with Overwhelm journaling workbook. This is my actual desk where I sit, about 2 hours a week, and the rest of the hours are found in random places around my house, just like my homeschool experience. So you'll find inside this journaling workbook journal questions that help you explore what's really going on, get curious about what your overwhelm actually is, what it's actually all about. And it's really a self-coaching tool, but I'm going to show you what's inside the journaling workbook. So this is direct out of my Canva. So introduce myself, and I share with you a little bit about my overwhelm story, because as you know, if you've read my book, definitely have one. There is a reason I am on this Instagram account, and why you're going to hear from me in email as well. So I really think that the 3 things that we don't deal with, that we need to deal with in order to address our overwhelm in our homeschools, is our needs, our relationships, our issues in our relationships, our concerns, and our actual construct about our homeschool, or what we think about what we're expected to do, or how we're supposed to see our homeschool, our kids, and what we're supposed to do in our day. I share with you how to use this workbook because if you're not already a journaler, I will definitely try to convince you that this is one of the most powerful things that you can do, is to write stuff down. Get it out of your head. Here I've written a variety of reasons why you might be overwhelmed. Anything look familiar? You're trying to keep a private school in your home. You're trying to finish all the curriculum. You're trying to do everything other homeschool families are doing with their kids. You believe there really is one right way to homeschool. You're trying to keep your kids happy all the time. That's something we don't talk about, but we do. We often want to do. You love your kids and you're glad to live and learn with them, but you don't feel supported by a community outside your home. And let's be honest, some days you love your kids, but you're also like, do I really have to stay with them all day? Okay, well, I'll let you answer that. You might have neurotypical kids, but you still don't know if you're doing right by them. You feel like you could do a great job with just 1 or 2 kids, but you've got 5. Or you have just 1 kid and you think, but they're more demanding when it's just them. You feel like you never quite get the right curriculum. Your kids are complaining, bickering, whining, just plain annoying you. You're trying to do the things to check off boxes so other people won't worry about your child's homeschool education. Or the biggest, most common thing, you are just feeling not good enough. Well, in this journaling workbook, I am going to offer you 3 steps to overcoming your overwhelm. The first is your needs. And you know that my experience very much was based around not even knowing what my needs are. I think we could have a discussion on boundaries right here. We could have a discussion on your needs too. I think sometimes even that word boundaries is nebulous. It's hard to determine what does that really mean. I don't think we can establish boundaries unless we know what our needs are, but guaranteed we're going to feel overwhelmed if we don't know what our needs are and how to address them. But the thing that nobody talks about, or at least very few people talk about, is your relationships. The relationships you have inside your homeschool, outside your homeschool, how you're understanding people in your world, and how they are showing up, or as it is, not showing up for you in your relationships actually truly influences how you feel and how you engage your own kids, how you engage your needs, all of it. It's really big. And of course, your homeschool. So what I have is 3 steps, or you could say 3 chapters of journal questions to address each of these elements. And I'm really excited by it because I spent a lot of time looking at what were the things that really did help unlock things for me. The things where I feel like, okay, yeah, I mean, you can still have overwhelming days at times. Things are not always perfect, despite my website's name, Capturing the Charmed Life. You can try, and I think it's a worthy goal, and I think it's a useful approach to life, to actually trying to frame it in a, is this working for me kind of way, but it won't always happen. There will still always be those days. So if you are interested in this Grappling with Overwhelm workbook, because you would rather work alongside your special time in your week where you actually have time to do something for yourself rather than booking a session with me, you can find this on my website, capturingthecharmedlife.com. Right at the very top, you can say how to get help. There's the retreats and courses. And here's the books and resources. And recently I showed you the D-School Your Homeschool Journal. This is the Overcoming Overwhelm Journaling Workbook. There was also the Big Emotions Journaling Workbook. And of course my book. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me. And I'm going to leave it on that note. Isn't that pretty? I never look like that, as you know. But it's definitely on one of those days where I was not overwhelmed. I hope you're having a great week.